What is up, Insaners, and welcome to another video where we'll be talking about the possible double game week fixtures across the next few weeks and help you guys prepare for all the chaos. This video will help you plan the transfers and chip strategy to get the best possible rank over this crucial period of games. Trust me guys, this is the most important period of the FPL season, so if you're struggling right now, don't worry, don't panic, just keep these few pointers in mind and surely you'll be back on track. Now in case you're already doing well this season, this video will help you as well. You should look at consolidating your rank and try to take advantage of planning much before everyone else. We've tried our best to cover every angle and insight to help, so make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to our channel Insanely Football if you want to see more FPL content. Also don't forget to press the bell icon guys if you want to get notified of our coming videos. Now let's get started with all the good stuff. We will talk about the fixtures first, covering the double game week games along with the fixtures leading to the blank game week 29. Just so that easy for everyone to understand, we have made a fixture planner where we have listed all the teams on the left side of the screen. On the top, we have mentioned different game weeks as different columns. Now inside each column is the opponent teams on the left are facing. In a few game week columns, two teams are mentioned, which means the team on the left is facing those two opponents. In the game week 29 column, you'll see blanks, and that means the teams on the left do not have a game that week and it's a blank game week. So what do we know right now? Game week 24 was a double game week for 4 teams, Burnley, Fulham, Everton and Man City, and now game week 25 is going to be a double game week as well for Leeds and Southampton. Both of them have 2 fixtures next week. Game week 26 is also going to be a huge double game week. There's no official announcement from Premier League, but the genius Ben Crennel has predicted the blanks and double game weeks in advance. He's almost always correct, so we're going ahead with his working for now, along with our interpretation for the same. Now why is game week 26 expected to be a huge double game week? One thing that we can be sure about is the Premier League games in game week 29 are clashing with the FA Cup quarterfinals. 7 out of the 8 teams involved in the FA Cup are from Premier League, meaning that the games in game week 29 are to be rescheduled and have a blank in game week 29. So that means the likes of Southampton, Everton, Man City, Man United, Chelsea, Leicester City and Sheffield United, who are in the FA Cup quarterfinals, do not have a game in game week 29. Now a weird coincidence is that none of them are playing each other in game week 29, meaning that teams like Liverpool, Wolves, Crystal Palace, Burnley, West Brom, Aston Villa and Tottenham also don't have a game that week. For now, only 3 fixtures are taking place in game week 29, and these are Brighton vs Newcastle, Fulham vs Leeds and West Ham vs Arsenal. Now because of game week 29 being a blank game week, those fixtures will have to be rearranged in an existing game week. Now what is the first available midweek for now? It's game week 26. So if we see now in the game week 26 column, it's a huge double game week where 16 teams play twice. That's huge from an FPL point of view guys. It's a great week to have a big squad of double game week players and play your chips like bench boost, triple captain or even a free hit if you feel that you're not prepared enough to handle this big double game week, and making a few transfers and probably taking a few hits won't solve your problems. Now by looking at the double game week 26 and beyond, the likes of Aston Villa, Everton, Man City and Tottenham surely stand out. Aston Villa has a chance to play Leeds United and Sheffield United in game week 26. Leeds is their already scheduled fixture and Sheffield United would be their game week 29 opponents. Everton and Tottenham are 2 extra games that need to be scheduled for Villa. The match against Everton can take place in game week 26, 27 or even game week 28. Aston Villa is also most likely to have a game in game week 29, which is the tricky blank game week. The other teams that they're playing are Wolves in game week 27 and Newcastle in game week 28. So that's really a good run of fixtures and there is huge potential for clean sheets for Martinez, along with attacking returns for the likes of Targett, Jack Grealish and Oli Watkins. Carlo Ancelotti's Everton play Southampton and one of either West Brom or Aston Villa. The West Brom game is their blank in game week 29 because of the FA Cup quarterfinal, and Aston Villa is the extra game that needs to be scheduled within this time. Now the West Brom game should mostly be in game week 26 and the extra fixture against Villa should be scheduled in game week 27 or 28. The other fixtures for Everton are a bit tricky as they face Chelsea in a very important game in game week 26 and Burnley in game week 28. From an FPL perspective, Everton has a couple of decent options. There's Lucas Dean, who's a bit expensive, and Everton have been guilty of conceding a lot of goals, but he's a very creative player and also has the potential for attacking returns in terms of assists. The second and their most popular pick is Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Obviously first he has to return to action and we need to see his fitness before getting him in our FPL teams. Nonetheless, a good option from an attacking point of view. Man City is the third team that we're going to talk about in this video. They are in great form right now and they'll mostly play West Ham and one of either Wolves or Southampton, who are both struggling in the bottom half of the Premier League table. Wolves is their game week 29 fixture and Southampton is the extra one that needs to be rescheduled. The chances are that Wolves would probably move to Game Week 26, with the chance of Southampton shifting to Game Week 27. Game Week 28 won't be possible as City would have their Champions League game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and a new fixture is not possible to add there. Now Pep is known to rest his players during double game weeks, and with Champions League coming back in the frame, there's absolutely no certainty on who starts, but Ruben Dias, John Stones and Joao Cancelo are great options in defense. Ilkay Gundogan came off in their last game against Tottenham with a groin problem, but it doesn't look that serious and he's definitely a must-have at the moment. There's Raheem Sterling, who's surely a premium in price, but is also a differential among premiums. Another great option is Phil Foden, who also has tremendous points potential, but is probably the least nailed on right now out of the three options. In attack, there's Gabriel Jesus and Sergio Aguero, who also might get minutes on the pitch in the coming games. So lots of options to choose from Man City, and take your pick. Now the Saints Southampton have had a terrible 2021, having lost all of their last 5 games in the Premier League, conceding 18 goals in the process. They are in free fall right now and really need to bounce back to finish the season at least in the top half of the table. Southampton would face Everton and one of Man City or Tottenham in Game Week 26. Mostly it should be Spurs, which was their scheduled game in Game Week 29. Man City would be in Game Week 27, making them one of the teams who could have 3 back-to-back double game weeks starting from Game Week 25. The other fixtures include games against Sheffield United in Game Week 27 and Brighton in Game Week 28. The issue with Southampton FPL assets is their current form, plus all of their double game weeks have a tough opponent, whether it's Chelsea, Man City or Tottenham. The defense, including their goalkeeper, looks really bad at the moment. The only decent option would be probably their main striker Danny Ings. He's also not in great form but can still get some goals against the likes of Leeds and Sheffield United. Now let's talk about the final team to watch out for, Mourinho's Tottenham. Spurs have 2 extra games against Fulham and Aston Villa. Their Southampton game is from Game Week 29, but it's a bit tricky in terms of rescheduling. Now Tottenham could only have a double game week in 27 or 28 if Wolfsburg knocked them out of the Europa League. For now they look set to face Southampton in Game Week 27 and Aston Villa in Game Week 29. The other games are against Crystal Palace and Arsenal, so having a double up at least on Spurs makes sense. They haven't looked strong defensively and midfield too has limited options. The duo of Kane and Son stands out and could prove to be really important if they are able to score goals in these coming fixtures. So guys, overall having a triple up on Aston Villa and Tottenham double at least makes sense with both teams having to play so many games in the coming game weeks. Not only that, their quality of fixtures is also quite appealing and we should definitely look at some assets from Tottenham and Aston Villa. Now coming to Game Week 29, and this is where things get a bit tricky guys. There are just 8 teams playing this week if the Tottenham and Aston Villa game goes through. The other fixtures are Brighton vs Newcastle, Fulham vs Leeds and West Ham vs Arsenal. Now the problem with these teams is that none of them have a double game week in Game Week 25, 26, 27 or even 28. So it'll be difficult to own them in all these weeks. But I'm telling you guys, you should not panic. The average score for this game week would be quite low, so you don't really have to worry. You won't be able to get 11 players playing this week, and probably 7 to 8 players should be enough to maintain your rank. To make it easier, if you have a double up or even a triple up on Leeds players, it might be wise for you to hold them till Game Week 28, play them on your bench and have them ready for Game Week 29 when they face Fulham. Holding Aston Villa and Spurs players throughout also might help, and you could easily have 7 to 8 players from these 3 teams. Having them already in your squad also allows you to make a transfer or 2 and have close to 9 to 10 players, which would be really nice. Again, it's not mandatory to have 11 players this game week. The closest you can get to obviously will give you a chance to even get a green arrow in blank Game Week 29. Now let's talk about what is the best strategy and what are we thinking of doing with our team. The idea should be to attack these next few game weeks as they will define your FPL season, and having this planner will help you gain an advantage over majority of the FPL players. The ideal strategy is to have a decked up squad of 15 double game week players and then play your bench boost in Game Week 26. Now there's a possibility that you don't have your bench boost. In that case, you should probably work towards having a playing 11 who will be having a double game week in 26. You could also navigate your way through Game Week 29 if you have your free hit available. Now a lot of you might be thinking of using your wildcard in Game Week 25, and the way you could get the most out of it would be to get 2 to 3 Leeds and Southampton players in your team for the next week and focus the rest of your squad for the coming double game weeks. This would help you to get a good balanced squad to play with. In this case, you could definitely use a triple captainship for Game Week 26 and use the bench boost later if it's available. Now there would also be a case where you don't have your second wildcard available. Don't worry, try to make transfers, probably even take a couple of hits to get in players who are playing 2 games in the double game week. It would definitely benefit as your players would have an opportunity to provide you a couple of point returns instead of just 1. After all of this chaos is done, people who have the wildcard still available with them can use it in Game Week 30 and prepare their teams for the final run of fixtures. The thought here is that your team might have a few Villa and Leeds players which you might want to shift out and transfer from your team. Now coming to our team, we've already used the bench boost, so we can only get a best possible 11 to play the double game week with. We will try to navigate Game Week 29 with our Leeds, Spurs and Aston Villa players, along with getting 1 or 2 players from the likes of Brighton or West Ham. Then once we get past the blank Game Week 29, we'll use our wildcard and prepare the best possible team till the end of the season. Again, these fixtures are not yet confirmed by Premier League, but this fixture planner gives a very good idea in terms of what to expect in the coming game weeks, what fixtures and teams to target, along with some players to look out for. We'll be doing more related content once the fixtures are confirmed and we get close to Game Week 26. It took us some time to prepare the whole planner, so would really appreciate if you could like this video. Also subscribe to our channel Insanely Football if you're new around here. There'll be a lot of videos coming on the double game week preparation, including watch lists, differential picks, captain picks and so much more. Make sure you hit the bell icon if you want to be notified of all our upcoming content. Our next video will be out on Friday, where we'll be talking about our team selection for Game Week 25, the best captain picks and some of the best double Game Week 25 players to target or have in your team. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you check that out as well. Till then, keep tinkering with your teams and I'll see you Insaners next time.